11 Sports and For the Fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
In the olden days, the best gunslingers would gather and compete to see who really was the fastest gun in the West. Today in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the home of the Desperados, a new kind of gunslinger reigns supreme, the quarterbacks of the Simulation Football League. And we have got a shootout between two of the best here today as AJ Caswell leads his Queen City Corsairs into enemy territory at Greenwood District Stadium to take on Deacon Nickens and the Tulsa Desperados. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Cavillo alongside Michelle Colston and Tom Robert on stats. Benji Matson is alongside me in commentary today. Benji, it's a great Saturday afternoon. It's time to raise the curtain on Week 7 of SFL action.
Good afternoon, Michael. It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I think we're in store for a great game today. Two teams looking to build some momentum as they head into the second half of their season. Queen City comes in today at 3-3. Played well in a victory last week over Las Vegas Fury. On the road with a road record of 1-2. Today they're led by the mayor of TD City, AJ Caswell, and the high-flying aerial attack. These Queen City Corsairs are going to be looking to outduel these Desperados today. And on the other side of the ball, Tulsa looking for some momentum of their own. They're happy to be home today. Led by Deacon Nickens, Sanzo Robinson, and Gabriel Manning. They'll be looking to establish some offense today, keep hold of that precious ball and not turn it over, and outgun these Corsairs on their own field today. I think we're in store for a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's get it on.
Don't go anywhere. Kickoff is next from Oklahoma. The hometown Desperados won the toss, chose to defer. That means kicker Judah Dorgan has the ball on the tee. His hand is in the air. The whistle blows and it's game on. Week 7 of the Simulation Football League starts right now. 6 weeks down, 6 weeks to go. Returned out to the 22-yard line, and that's where Queen City will start. Here is their starting offense. The quarterback is AJ Caswell. The running back is Jet Zero. Wide receivers Christopher Ochoa, Deezer Powell, and Chris Curtis. Tight end James Matthew Jr. and Alex Natruder, Freddie Tubbs Jr., Carson Miller, and Griffin King on the offensive line. 3 wide set, 2 to the left, single right from 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Caswell middle, caught on the slant. And all the way to the 42-yard line. That's a 22-yard pickup. Here is the Tulsa starting defense. On the defensive line, Chris Andrews, Jaden Swift, KT Slayer, and Berto Demora, DJ Majesty, and Espen Rial. The linebackers, Nate Heslep, Cameron Shaw, and Mo Austin. The corners, and Ezekiel Love and Kane Vasquez, the safeties. From the Queen City 42-yard line, offset I2 receivers to the right. First carry for Jet Zero today. And he will plunge forward for just 3 yards.
Fast start today for Tulsa. Well, I'm sorry, for Queen City. How fitting that right out of the gun they're throwing the ball. I think we're going to see a lot of passes thrown today in this game, Michael.
You are probably correct. AJ Caswell and his opposite number both throw about over 40 passes a game, and that pass is into double coverage and knocked away by Kane Vasquez. This is why we're so hyped about this matchup today, specifically for Caswell. He is tied at the league in touchdowns with 16. He also could hit 200 for his career today if he goes off, as he is currently sitting at 196.
You might very well see that mark eclipsed today for AJ Caswell.
4 wide, nobody in the backfield. Caswell under center on 3rd and 7. Just 2 minutes gone here in the opening quarter. The pass goes short, and it's not going to be enough. Only gets out to midfield, 4th down and 2. After the pass was complete to James Matthew Jr., so on will come the punting unit, featuring punter Ricky Matthews.
Great start for the Tulsa defense today. They're going to want to play stout defense. Anytime they can get off the field and get this ball back to the offense today is going to be a win.
And I think the theme today for both of these quarterbacks and teams in general is hang on to the football as the punt goes in the air from Matthews. Not the greatest return by Gabriel Manning out to their own 16-yard line. Here's the Tulsa offense. Deacon Nickens, the quarterback. Sanzo Robinson, the running back. Gabriel Manning, DJ Hume, and Corey Jones, the receivers. Anthony Mosley, the tight end. Finley James and Michael Potter on the offensive line. First and 10 for the Desperados, wearing all black today with their usual teal and red highlights. First play is a run play to Sanzo Robinson. Tries to stretch the play to the left, and he'll get 2 yards off the left side. Running backs is something we probably won't see a lot today, but they will be critical in first and short down situations.
Absolutely. I think one of the keys of the game today for Tulsa, they've had some turnover problems lately. They want to try and cure that right off the bat. I think a healthy dose of Sanzo Robinson might be what the doctor ordered today for Tulsa.
Robinson's struggling a little bit this season. Has not had a game where he's gone over 100 rushing yards. He gets the ball for a second straight time. Looks for a hole. Finds a hole. Runs away. And eventually gets brought down by Jared Crow after picking up a first down at the 27-yard line. Here's the Queen City defense. Jeff Duffy, Digger Graves, and David Tilley on the defensive line. Jared Crow, who just made that tackle, is the linebacker along with Njabu Afolabi. Nene Ferris and Pharaoh Reigns, the corners. Albert Begin, Kappa Jones, and King Jamal, the safeties. In the shotgun for the first time goes Gabriel Manning. He'll drop back to pass. He'll throw over the middle into traffic, and it is caught. And running all the way up near midfield is Corey Jones. His first catch of the day takes him to the Tulsa 49.
Great nab by Corey Jones there to pick up the first down. This is a good start for this Tulsa offense. This key to their game, this idea that they want to feed the ball to Sanzo Robinson. It's not necessarily about getting the running game established. It's more about helping support Deacon Nickens. 4 interceptions last week. They got behind early in their game against Sioux Falls. The one thing they can't afford to playing here at home is to get down early and have to play behind against this tough Queen City Corsairs team.
First and 10 of the 49. Tulsa approaching midfield on their opening drive of the game. 7:40 to go, first quarter. Ball floated out to Robinson, who's got room to run, and he breaks a tackle and gets a first down at the 35-yard line of Queen City. Into Corsair territory go the Desperados.
And this can be a powerful part of the Desperados attack today, involving Robinson in the passing game. Here we just see the little swing pass to the left, but he's got a great block on the outside there by Finley James, drafted this year to fill up that spot on the O-line. So he gets the great block, springs Robinson for the first down. So the short passing game, getting the ball in the flats to Robinson could be a key part of Desperado game plan today.
As you noted, nice block by Finley James, the 300-pound rookie from Birmingham, where he played his minor league ball. Just over 7 minutes to go. First and 10 for Tulsa. Here's another swing pass to Robinson. This time he's going to be run down, but he breaks the tackle to the backfield, gets a nice steal block on the edge, a first down and more into the red zone, into the 16-yard line, the 18-yard line. And it's all Sanzo Robinson show right now for Tulsa.
Absolutely. We see his power here. Another swing pass, this time to the opposite side of the field, and the ball gets there. Play is a little bit ahead of schedule, and the offensive lineman doesn't have quite time to pick up that block, but the power of Sanzo Robinson is on display there. He makes the first man miss. The lineman's able to pick up a great block downfield, springs Robinson for another first down, and this is a perfect start to this game for this Tulsa offense. Forward momentum, staying on the field, and keeping possession of the ball, taking some time off this clock. Great start for Tulsa.
Jared Crow looked to have him dead to rights of the backfield. Here's Robinson again, and this time he does go down for a loss of 1. First negative play for the Desperados. Let's take a look at these teams and how much their offensive output. They may get a lot of yards, mostly through the air, but they don't really score a lot of points, sitting there at 21 and 19 points per game, respectively.
Yeah, very similar we see there. It's going to be a close contest perhaps today, or hard-fought. Lots of points possibly on tap for today.
Second down at 11, Nickens in the gun. Nickens throws short underneath, pass is caught and hit immediately at the 14-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. That's Gabriel Manning's first catch of the game.
Showing his hands there on that catch, reeling that ball in, holding on tight, not letting it go. Picks up some positive yards for Tulsa. Great play by the star wide receiver on the outside.
Third and 5 at the Queen City 14-yard line. Tulsa looking to strike first over the middle to the goal line. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Desperados. The home team strikes first, and it's Anthony Mosley with his second touchdown of the year.
Timely play by the big tight end, big 6'5" target is Anthony Mosley. Only a second touchdown of the year. He's a great receiver and a great option for Tulsa here when they need him, and he was ready and up for the task. Holding on that ball across the middle, got crunched at the goal line, but fell forward to put 6 points on the board, possibly for Tulsa.
Eric Barkley's going to challenge that call. I'm not sure how I feel about this challenge. I mean, it's very early in the game. You've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league on your side. We'll see how close this is. It looked close from the original angle. From that angle, it looks like he got in. But we'll see what the referee says.
Give it to the big man.
And Eric Barkley wins the challenge. Tulsa's going to be half a yard short. Take those 6 points off the board. And they will go again from inside the 1-yard line.
Still a great play by Anthony Mosley, setting up the team here right on the goal line. It's too bad the big tight end couldn't get that score and add that second touchdown to his stats for the season.
First and goal from inside the 1. Sanzo Robinson alone in the backfield. They're going to give it to him, and he's going to power his way forward. And this time, Sanzo Robinson makes no doubt about it. Touchdown, Tulsa.
Way to cap this drive for the Desperados today by handing this ball off to Sanzo Robinson. This is only his second rushing touchdown of the year, his second touchdown total. It comes at a great time in this home contest here to start the second half of the season. Fantastic drive by Tulsa, spreading the ball around, getting the weapons involved early. Deacon Nickens does what he was not able to do last week, and that's complete the first drive of the game, not turn the ball over. Right off the bat, Tulsa has a 6, perhaps 7-point lead. Great start to the game for them today.
Judah Dorgan is the kicker for Tulsa. He lines up this extra point. It is up, and it is good. An opening statement from the Desperados sees them lead 7-0. 5:45 left in the first quarter. When we come back, this is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is the opening game of Week 7 of the Simulation Football League's 15th season. I'm Michael Travillo. Benji Matson is alongside me. The Tulsa Desperados have a 7-0 lead thanks to a 9-play, 84-yard drive that ended in a 1-yard rushing touchdown for Sanzo Robinson.
Terrific start for Tulsa on that drive after holding Corsairs to a quick possession on that, after receiving that opening kickoff. They put their defense back on the field. They want to try and rein in this high-flying offense here again on their second drive of the game.
We saw the Queen City offense sputter a little bit on their opening drive when they got towards midfield. They're set up in the I formation here. Plenty of time for Caswell to sit in the pocket. He launches it downfield. It's tipped and intercepted. Batted into the hands of Nate Heslep. And Heslep gets all the way to the Queen City 25. And this could be a 14-point swing just like that.
And just like that, indeed, Nate Heslep has been making a huge impact out of that secondary for Tulsa this season. He's averaging an interception a game for the Desperados. So who else do you expect to come down with the ball here? Nate Heslep's having a great season in that backfield. Picks this ball off from A.J. Caswell, who's really has been taking great care of the ball this season for the Corsairs. Sets up Tulsa deep inside Queen City territory here for their second drive of the game.
7th interception on the season for Heslep. That ball was tipped in the air by Kane Vasquez, who has 5 interceptions of his own. This secondary for Tulsa loves to pick the ball off. Here is Robinson up the middle looking for a lane. Finds one at a nice 8-yard run for Sanzo. And that was one of our keys coming into the game for Tulsa. If they wanted to stay competitive, they had to move the ball on the ground and not turn it over. And so far, Sanzo Robinson is fitting the bill very nicely.
Absolutely. And this offense got this great gift from the defense. They got that turnover, gets the ball back, sets them up in deep territory. They need to capitalize with a touchdown on this drive.
Another handoff to Robinson. He can't find a hole. Excellent push from the defensive line for Queen City. It'll be 3rd down and 2. David Tilley made the tackle.
Yeah, good push up front by that defensive line. A little bit underrated. Baby Sue, David Tilley made the big play there. Stuffs up Sanzo Robinson, sets up to this 3rd and short.
This is the same formation they scored the touchdown on their previous drive from the 1-yard line. 3rd down and 2. This time it's going to be a throw to Robinson to the flat. He's got plenty of space to pick up the 1st down and more. Takes to the 5 and will be pushed back to the 7-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and goal for Tulsa.
Early in this game, here still in the first quarter, Sanzo Robinson's already touched the ball 9 times. I think this is a great formula here for Tulsa. They want their star player involved here early, and they're feeding him the ball, and this is going to be great going down or further into this game because we know there's another weapon lurking on the outside for this Tulsa team. I think that they're doing perfect execution of their game plan here, getting Sanzo the ball early to set up their all-star Manning down the road.
It's going to be another pass in the flat. Robinson turns upfield, gets to the 5, and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So now, 2nd down and goal. Do you run Robinson again in a similar play to they scored the first touchdown, or do you try and go to the air, maybe try an end around here? The playbook is completely open for the Desperados.
Yeah, absolutely. And this offensive line's playing well. They're making their blocks early in this game. I think that they want to send a message here. If I were the coach, I would have signaled in a Sanzo Robinson running play right here.
They're in that single back set again from the 2-yard line. 3:43 to go in the quarter, and Robinson is crushed back at the 5 for a 3-yard loss. Ajamu Afalabi on the linebacker. Blitz brings him down.
Afalabi blowing up that play there. Great timely play on the goal line by the stud linebacker for Queen City, forcing this 3rd and goal from the 5.
Afalabi, a 7-season veteran, played most of his career with St. Louis. Now a 3rd down and goal. Nickens wrapped up and dropped back at the 11-yard line. First sack of the game for Jeff Duffy, and the Corsairs defense will hold them to a field goal attempt.
Jeff Duffy having a great season from his defensive end spot. 4 sacks last week, making an impact right off the bat here with this fantastic sack of Deacon Nickens. Forces Tulsa into a field goal situation. 2 great plays on defense by this Queen City squad. Force what was a short field, or they hold steady on this short field and force the field goal for Tulsa. Great stand by the defense.
Judah Dorgan is the kicker. This won't be a very long field goal. It's up, and it is good from 27 yards, so the Desperados take a 10-0 lead. Jeff Duffy, who made that last sack, it was his 11th of the season. He was the Defensive Player of the Week last week for his 4-sack performance against Las Vegas in the Queen City 31-17 victory. So the Desperados go up 2 scores It's been a quiet opening for this Queen City offense. A punt on their first drive, then a first play interception on the second. As Christopher Ochoa brings that ball up to the 21-yard line. Have you seen anything that the Desperados defense has been doing to counter the passing attack of Queen City, or has they just gotten lucky to this point?
I think as they were planning for Queen City this week, they come into this game knowing AJ Caswell is going to sling it. So I think they might have adopted perhaps a pass first mentality or be looking for the pass first this week in early downs.
Caswell, middle, nice rocket to James Matthew Jr. for a first down to the 31-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain.
James Matthew Jr. is lighting it up this year from his tight end spot across several categories of receiving. He's leading or one of the top lead leaguers in that receiving spot, and I think he's number 2 overall tight end in the league. So he's enjoying a great year here for the Corsairs.
2 minutes, 5 seconds, first quarter. Another short throw over the middle to James Matthew Jr. They have exploited the hole in the defense, and Matthews, who has 6 touchdowns on the year and 530 receiving yards coming into the game.
Great play by
the main target so far.
Yeah, great play there too by AJ Caswell. He lofted that ball in there a little short. We saw James Matthew Jr. have to reach back for it, but if that ball would have been further in front of him, he would have been tattooed by the defenseman there.
Second down, 1. Jets 0, wrapped up and dropped to the backfield for a loss of 2. Hiron Hill brought him down. Jets 0, not having the greatest of seasons for Queen City. Obviously, in a pass-first offense, the running back is more a blocker and receiver. Now on 3rd and 3, Caswell in the gun. 0 to his left, 3 receivers to aim at, 4-man front for Tulsa. They'll rush all 4. Caswell to the flat, and it's caught for a first down. Oh, he didn't catch it. Deezer Powell could not keep his feet in bounds, and it's 4th down, and out comes Ricky Matthews again.
Yeah, they already used one of their challenges earlier in the game. He's going to throw that flag again here. We'll see what Stripes tells us.
And it looked to me in real time that Powell caught that ball, but we shall see.
Yeah, just a simple out route here for Deezer Powell's having a great season. It looks to me like he possibly got his foot down there. We'll see what they have to say about it.
It depends if that right foot was down when he caught the ball. And it was. So Queen City is going to pick up a first down. Second straight challenge win for the Corsairs in this game. Remember, they had a touchdown for Tulsa overruled, but then, of course, the Desperados came back and scored on a Robinson 1-yard run on the very next play. 1st and 10 for the Corsairs from their own 42. Have not hit Tulsa territory at all yet in this game. A minute left to go in the first quarter. Caswell, pressure, dumps it short. And Todd Mack, the fullback, gets back to the line of scrimmage, falls forward for 1 yard.
And AJ Caswell had to move in the pocket there a little bit, felt the rush coming from that Tulsa front there. Just dumped the ball off to a safety valve there to make sure they lived to fight another down here. 2nd and long for the Corsairs as they approach midfield.
2 receivers spread out wide to the left and offset eye behind Caswell. Tulsa crowds the box. They're going to hand it to 0, and Jets 0 is run down. Another loss of 4 back to the 39-yard line, and Jaden Swift got there for the tackle for loss.
Yeah, second-year player, the big defensive tackle for Tulsa, made a great play in the backfield there, bursting through that line of scrimmage, making the secure tackle, bringing them down for the loss.
Now, Queen City doesn't have to snap it. There's only 5 seconds left in the quarter. They will get the 3rd down play off. It goes over to the middle, and Matthew Jr. cannot get to the line again. We have hit the end of the first quarter. Tulsa is about to get the ball back. They're already up 10. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Second quarter about to get underway. Tulsa with a 10-0 lead over the Queen City Corsairs. And they're going to get the ball back, too, as this is 4th down and 3. I'm Michael Javello. Benji Matson alongside me, alongside Michelle Colston and Tom Rahman on stats. Punt away from Ricky Matthews, his second of the ball game. And Gabriel Manning, spin move to the left-hand side, breaks another tackle, gets to the edge, and he gets all the way up to the 34-yard line. Good starting field position average for Manning. Manning also the lead wide receiver for this Desperados team. He's got the most receiving yards of any wide receiver coming into the week.
Such a dangerous weapon to have on the field, both for special teams and as a wide receiver. And here you see how dangerous he is, making so many players miss. It's almost a lock for him to have a huge play on special teams every week. I just wouldn't be surprised to see him bust one out, an even longer return sometime in this game.
1st and 10 for the Tulsa 34. They've got a 10-0 lead and the football. Nickens moves in the pocket, pressured. Second sack of the ball game will come through for Queen City, and that one is a huge one. 9-yard loss. Jeff Duffy gets home again.
Yeah, the Duff man putting his mark or his stamp early on this game, gets to Deacon Nickens quite quickly there. Second sack of the day for Nickens. He unfortunately is not he leads the league in sacks in a bad way. This would be sack number 25 for Deacon Nickens. Tulsa needs to do a better job of protecting their quarterback.
Nickens, time, fires, tipped and intercepted. It looked like a carbon copy of the Tulsa interception from earlier in the game, and this one is taken away by Albert Begin.
That play seemed to me up here in the booth to be happening in slow motion. Perfect tip up in the air right in front of Albert Begin. It can make that play right there on the ball just when they needed a big play on defense. They get it after the sack on the play before, but the Duff man, Albert Begin, comes down with this interception on the tip. It sets up Queen City now deep in Tulsa territory. On the previous exchange when this happened, Tulsa got set up deep in Queen City territory, and the Queen City defense held. Let's see what the Tulsa defense now can do now that they're back on the field.
This will be the first play for the Corsairs run inside Desperado territory in the football game. Caswell, plenty of time, throws to the far sideline, has a man out there. It's caught for a 7-yard gain. And that's Chris Curtis making his second intervention of the ball game.
And the offense back on the field here. Queen City looking to pass first. Use jet zero when they can, maybe as a decoy, aid in some pass protection there on these pass plays. But they're going to want to look to get him involved some point in the game here, and they may look to do so as they get a little bit closer to as they are in the red zone.
4 wide, Caswell alone, pressure, here comes, throw over the middle, incomplete. It seemed to hang in the air for a long time, and it was put to the ground by Espen Royale.
Espen Royale, the stud linebacker for Tulsa, seems to always be involved in the play on the defensive side. That ball did seem to be batted up in the air and hang around there, I'm sure, a bit too long for A.J. Caswell's comfort there on that play.
Royale, a legend in his own right. 9th season in the league, 6th here in Tulsa after spending time with the Chicago Wildcats. Over the middle from Caswell, almost threw an interception as DJ Majesty was there to knock the ball down. It was intended for number 17, Deezer Powell.
Queen City is struggling a little bit here in this first quarter, or now into the second quarter on offense. Not quite able to make anything click. Jet zero, -2 yards. A.J. Caswell has completed 8 passes, 8 of 12, but just having some problems being consistent on the offense. They did get a gift here with the ball deep in Tulsa territory, but unfortunately have to settle for the field goal attempt.
36-yarder on tap from James Troll. This should be well inside his effective range. He swings the right leg through it and puts it right down Main Street. The Corsairs are on the board. 9:30 to go second quarter. Tulsa 10, Queen City 3, and I say well inside of his effective range. He's hit from 52 this season.
Yeah, Queen City's glad to get on the board. I think early in this game here, we see Tulsa playing really well. We see a game plan put in by Coach Dion Hawkins that's allowing this offense to have some success. They're utilizing Sanzo Robinson heavy in this game. And the defense, we know they're going to be a ball hockeying squad today, and they've already shown that they're able to pick off A.J. Caswell. I think the game plan today for Tulsa is in full effect. They're playing really well.
manning up to the 23-yard line. Tulsa came into this game with 16 takeaways. So now they'll start from their own 23-yard line, now just up by 7, 10-3. Press coverage on the corners to the wide receivers here on 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Robinson straight up the middle, and he'll plow his way through for 2 yards. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, you're watching the first controllerless esport, where strategy and AI instead of thumbs determines the outcomes. Teams submit game plans prior to the simulation, and the results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turned players, scouts, coaches, and team owners on the field to create an all-new kind of virtual reality. Visit www.simulationfl.net for more information. Nickens to the far sideline. Here's Robinson. Turns upfield and bowls over a defender and picks up a first down to the 25-yard line.
5th reception of the game. Sonzo Robinson, super effective in this passing game here. Not quite having success on the ground straight ahead yet, but he's showing their effectiveness here in the passing game. They're continuing to have success here. And until Queen City makes a concerted effort to try and stop this passing game, these swing passes to Sonzo Robinson, we're going to continue to see Deacon Nickens exploit this matchup.
Off Robinson, plenty of room to run, picks up 4 yards. And this is a lot more running than Sonzo Robinson is probably used to this season. Last week, he had one of his better games on the ground, 11 carries for 95 yards.
In the 2 Tulsa wins this year, Sonzo's had 22 and 25 rushing attempts. So I think that that's going to be still part of a key to this game. They still want to feed him the ball on the ground.
And they do so again, and he gets a first down, and he runs over a defender and all the way into Queen City territory to the 47-yard line. This drive is the Sonzo Robinson show.
It's been the Sonzo Robinson show in this entire first half so far for Tulsa. Talented back, very powerful back. He always can make the first guy miss, and then the second guy he can just knock over there. Unfortunately, we saw Kappa Jones get in the way of Sonzo on that play. But almost right on cue. We were talking about Sonzo running the ball on the ground. That was just one formula Tulsa used in those 2 victories. They kept Sonzo involved, feeding him the ball on the ground. And in the losses, he was averaging between 11 and 16 carries a game.
It's Todd Manning to throw. It's tipped and incomplete. Nene Ferris knocked it down. This Corsair secondary, nothing to stake a stick at either. Ferris 2 interceptions. Kappa Jones 5 interceptions. Begin 2 picks, and Farrell Rains with 1. From the 47-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Tulsa with a 10-3 lead, 7:41 to go in the first half. Robinson up the middle. Penalty flag flies. Will get just 1 yard, and we will check the penalty. It is in the area of holding.
Yeah, Queen City sniffed out that trap play there. Good play by the Corsairs defense.
And it is a face mask against Queen City, so that'll move Tulsa forward. Corsairs have struggled on offense today, and now are giving the Desperados offense free yards. Now it'll be 2nd and 3 at the 40-yard line. Handoff. Robinson gets a great block and a second block as he tries to travel up the seam. And he gets a 32-yard line, fresh set of downs for Tulsa.
Yeah, great play by the Desperados here. Sweep to the left. Got some blockers out front. Good blocking by the Desperados on that play. Springs Sonzo for the game. Picks up the first down as they're moving deeper and deeper into Queen City territory here in the 2nd quarter.
Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. We've quickly hit the sharp end of the first half of football here. Tulsa back to throw, incomplete, as Deacon Nickens' pass was knocked away. Corey Jones, the intended target.
And Pharaoh Reigns made the timely play there from his cornerback spot. Cornerback from Memphis, Tennessee, models this play after the great Deion Sanders, and we saw some Deion Sanders there in that play as he came over the top and knocked that ball away.
First time we've seen a bunch formation from Tulsa in this game. They got 3 receivers to the left-hand side. Nickens fires, intercepted! Nay Ferris takes the ball away, and Tulsa comes up empty. Queen City's going to have the ball at the 15-yard line.
Nay Ferris had an interception last week, so 2 games in a row with an interception here. Just plays great defense on Manning. Knew Manning was going to make that cut to the outside and reels that ball in for the turnover.
Queen City has their second takeaway of the ball game, and when we come back, they'll try and tie this one up on the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back at Greenwood District Stadium, 1st and 10 for the Corsairs at their own 15-yard line after the interception by Nay Ferris. A sling over the middle, sidearm throw, finds Deezer Powell. 1st down and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Deezer Powell had a monster game last week for the Corsairs, picking up right where he left off. 16 receptions last week for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns in their Queen City victory last week over Las Vegas. Big play receiver. They have a couple of them on this team as A.J. Caswell is going to continue to look to air this ball out today.
First down from the 28-yard line. Caswell short over the middle to his favorite target so far, James Matthew Jr. And a quick note on Deezer Powell, that last catch took him over 500 receiving yards for the season. And we've seen more Deezer Powell than Chris Curtis, but those are the 2 receivers to watch out for on the outside for Queen City.
We had James Matthew Jr. in there, and this team has 3 receivers in the top 20 in the SFL so far this season.
This time a short check down to Jet 0, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more. Excellent pursuit by the Desperados defense.
This Desperado defensive unit has been playing good football this year. With a record of 2-4, might get lost in the shuffle a little bit, but this defensive unit for Tulsa is a stout defense.
Handoff 0 again, finding no grace in the middle of the field. Only gets 2 yards, 3rd down and 8. And on this Tulsa defense, as you said, They only give up 24 points a game, and this Tulsa team is most often hurt by their offense that only scores 19 points, because giving up 24 points in a very offensively tuned league is nothing to shake a stick at. Third and 9. To the far sideline, and Deezer Powell's going to be well short. Only got 5 yards on the play, so it's going to be another punt, the third of the game for Ricky Matthews.
These receivers for Queen City can make big plays at any time on the field. I think this was just a situation where A.J. Caswell wanted to get the ball out of his hand to his playmaker on the outside, see if he can make a move to pick up that first down. A good play by Nate Heslip on the outside to reel him in.
Matthews gets the punt away. Manning back deep to receive. Breaks one tackle, gets free, slips another tackle into the open field. He's at the 50, spin move, past the punter to the 40,
gone.
to the 30. He is gone. 15-10-5, touchdown, Desperados. It's a Gabriel Manning miracle play.
Gabriel Manning has been doing this all his entire career, honestly, but he's been spoiling the Desperados with his special teams play. League leader from his wide receiver spot and receiving, but also as a returner. And here is just another example of a fantastic play. Gabriel Manning making everyone miss, running through players, avoiding tacklers, putting on the good old spin cycle there, and coasting in for another return touchdown. Gabriel Manning's off having a great season here for the Desperados, and this big plays like this from Gabriel Manning, they're going to keep Tulsa in games here the second half of the season.
Majestic from Manning. Broke 3 tackles, 2 spin moves, and a long return touchdown. 70 yards on the return. And on for the extra point is Judah Durgan. His second of the game, up and good. 3:53 to go in the second quarter, and Tulsa has ballooned their lead to 17-3 and really taking advantage of the inaction of the Corsairs offense so far in this ballgame.
Yeah, they're enjoying playing at home this week. Kind of the opposite script than what they experienced last week on the road against Sioux Falls. They got down 21-0 in the first quarter, and they just weren't able to catch up against that good Sioux Falls team. Here at home, they're playing great defense. They're turning Queen City over, and special teams plays or big plays like this from their star Gabriel Manning are definitely helping.
Christopher Ochoa cannot match Manning's magic, and he brings it out to the 23-yard line. Both of these teams were involved in 31-17 contests last week. Queen City coming out the victors against Las Vegas, and as you mentioned, Tulsa falling short against Sioux Falls. 1st and 10 for the Corsairs, trying to get their offense going here late in the second half, and that pass is incomplete. Looking for Matthew Jr. a little further down the field than we're used to seeing him, as Ezekiel Love makes his first intervention into the game to knock that ball down.
Free safety Ezekiel Love here in his rookie campaign for the Desperados. They drafted him in the 6th round this year, earning his paycheck in the backfield for the Desperados today. Great play by Ezekiel Love.
Love was a running back in the minor leagues for Madison, switched to free safety, and now is enjoying success in his rookie season. Still looking for his first interception of his career. This time, an out route is incomplete, knocked away. Looking for Chris Curtis, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10, and I think one of the main problems with the Corsairs offense right now is that they're ineffective on 1st and 2nd down, and every couple of plays they're facing a 3rd and long.
A.J. Caswell just doesn't quite look comfortable yet in the pocket. I think we can contribute this to this Tulsa defense today.
Aswell stands in against a 3-man rush, throws it deep, and it's over the hands of Chris Curtis, and it sails into the Tulsa bench. He was laid out as he made that throw by Chris Andrews. Another 3-and-out for Queen City, and out comes Matthews.
Caswell couldn't step into that throw and follow through like he wanted to. Great play by the defensive end, Chris Andrews. pressuring Caswell, interrupting his motion there, and Caswell just couldn't get the spin on that baby that he wanted. Another good play by this Tulsa Desperado defense.
Under the way from Ricky Matthews. Gabriel Manning back there again, and this time, oh, he gets free again! Oh my goodness, he goes down the field! 20, 15, 10, 5, back to back! Majestic, magical, Gabriel Manning, 2 straight return touchdowns!
Deja vu. Weren't we just talking about this? We were talking about Gabriel Manning, his explosiveness in the return game. As a specialist, unmatched in the league. And here we see why. 2 punt returns in a row, 2 touchdowns for Gabriel Manning, making a huge impact on this game for Tulsa. All aspects of the game today, Tulsa offensively, defensively, and now in special teams, operating on all cylinders, playing really well. They look to be overmatching this Queen City Corsairs team on the road today.
Kick on the way from Dorgan. Right through, and without touching the field, the Tulsa offense has seen their lead grow from 10-3 to 24-3 thanks to back-to-back Gabriel Manning return touchdowns. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where we're still kind of in shock of what Gabriel Manning has just done. He has taken 2 straight punt returns back for touchdowns, and he is now the all-time leader in return touchdowns with 4. That second one pushed him past Jeffrey Daggs for first all-time, and that is his second. He only had 2 return touchdowns at his first 166 return attempts. He now has 2 in 2 on the last 2 plays. 1st and 10 for Queen City. They are reeling right now, trying to pick themselves up and get back into this game. Caswell, plenty of time in the pocket, fires deep, and it's intercepted. The hits just keep on coming for this Corsairs team as Kane Vasquez picks up his 6th interception of the season, and Tulsa now has the ability to do more damage before halftime.
Absolutely what Queen City could not afford to see happen. Another interception here by this ball-hawking secondary. This time, Kane Vasquez coming into the league tied for 2nd interceptions, his 6th one. He's already had two interception games this year. Kane Vasquez in the backfield secondary with Nate Heslep is a formidable duo for the Desperados, paying dividends today. They set the Desperados up at midfield.
At the 48-yard line of Queen City, Deacon Nickens stands in, takes a shot, over the middle, caught! Corey Jones, 1 play, touchdown! Desperados riding the wave right now. They're up by 4 scores!
Unbelievable. Corey Jones, right on cue. Bullet pass from Deacon Nickens. Snags that thing, runs it in. Maybe a blown assignment in the secondary, a missed tackle here. Oh, ref gets run over. Another highlight for Corey Jones, playing well opposite Gabriel Manning. This Tulsa Desperado team is on fire right now.
The last 3 times a Tulsa Desperados player has touched the ball in this football game, they've taken it to the house, manning 2 straight punt return touchdowns, and now 1 play 50-yard touchdown for Corey Jones. We came in 5 minutes ago. It was 10-3. What happened? I'm in shock.
Gabriel Manning happened. I think we're starting to see this Tulsa Desperado team playing up to their potential. Just 2-4 so far in the season, entering the second half. They are dangerous on any given day. We're seeing that happen right in front of us.
Judah Dorgan kicks it off for Tulsa. Ochoa from 3 yards deep in the end zone won't get very far. He only takes it to the 20. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the last 3 minutes or so have gone so slowly because Queen City has thrown the ball pretty much every play, and several of them have been incomplete, so that stops the clock. The Desperados have only won 1 offensive play. And it was a 48-yard touchdown. Caswell, middle, knocked away. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
And they need to not press right now. Yeah, the scoreboard's a bit lopsided here with this 4-touchdown deficit, but they need to not press. They have 1 opportunity here, 3 minutes left on the clock, full complement of timeouts. They need to settle down here, 2nd down, and not look to get this all back in 1 chunk because you can't. But what they need to focus on right now is finishing this first half with a positive drive, get some points on the board, and head into halftime.
2:57 to go in the first half. Caswell pressured, throws, and he's complete to Deezer Powell. Deezer Powell can have a lane here. He's going to be brought down inside Tulsa territory. He's now the leading receiver for the Queen City Corsairs, 60 yards. And that's the biggest play of the game for the Corsairs on offense.
Yeah, great play when they needed to have it there on the outside. Nate Heslop misplays that a little bit there from his cornerback spot and allows Deezer Powell to make that reception and head upfield for the positive gain. Sets up Queen City here now. It's going to be interesting on this drive to end this first half into Tulsa territory. Lots of time on the clock. Moving the ball forward. See what they can do with this possession.
They've got 3 receivers in a bunch formation to the right. Snap with 2:24 to go, first half. Quick out route is caught by James Matthew Jr. And it'll be a 4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6. Get your player position locked and loaded today through our Discord server and the SFL Minor League. Now 12 teams. There's more opportunities than ever to be the player you've always wanted to be. Join the Discord community through simulationfl.net. The 2nd season of the SFL Minor League starts in October 2020. Contact Commissioner Andrew Rastelli on Discord for more information. 7-step drop for Caswell. Throws it across the middle. First down. And he's got his favorite target again, James Matthew Jr. to the 29-yard line of Tulsa.
Good snag there by the tight end. 7 receptions on the day for 55 yards for the big tight end.
We have hit the 2-minute warning. Tulsa all over Queen City. It's 31-3. This is the Simulation Football League at 11 Sports and for the fans. 2 minutes to go in the first half at Greenwood District Stadium. Desperados all over Corsairs 31-3. Jets 0. Ahead for 2 yards on first down, second down and 8. I'm Michael Twittle. Benji Matson is alongside me in commentary. Tom Rahman and Rochelle Colston are on stats. And if you're just joining us, you missed a lot. And at halftime, we'll recap the scoring for you. Let me just say, about 5 minutes ago, it was 10-3 Tulsa. Are almost intercepted, but it does find the hands of Chris Curtis, who pick up a first down. Clock's still running as he didn't get out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
4th reception for Chris Curtis. Been targeted 7 times now for Queen City. They're probing the left side of this Tulsa defense. Enjoy this.
To the 5 and sliding down to the 4-yard. Stopping the clock with 1:04 to go. There's Deezer Powell, and you got to feel that for the Corsairs to have any momentum going into the second half, they got to punch it in here.
I agree with you, Chris. And I was saying they found something they really like on the left side of this Tulsa defense. The big plays in the passing game are either up the middle or on this left-hand side. We just saw another catch by Chris Curtis on the right. They haven't really utilized him on that side of the field yet today. It's just been a jointed first half by Queen City. Let's see if they can punch it in here for a score.
Offset eye. Here's Jet 0. He's trying to worm his way to the goal line. He gets to the 2. Remember, 0 does not have a rushing touchdown yet in this season.
Yeah, that's a really interesting stat coming in today. Queen City leading the league in passing touchdowns with 16, and at the bottom of the league with 0 rushing touchdowns. Just a crazy stat.
Haswell to the back of the end zone, and wide open is Diesel Powell. Queen City has a light at the end of the tunnel. Touchdown, Corsairs.
Beautiful touch pass here by the mayor of TD City, getting Queen City on the board here. Great route to the back of this end zone by Deezer Powell, snagging that touchdown. Let's see, he had 2 touchdowns last week, I believe. Deezer Powell did, adds a 3rd, and I think they're going to need that connection as they head into the second half today. But this is a good drive by Queen City. They did what they had to do, respond to Tulsa. They put 7 points on the board here. It's going to tighten this game up a little bit as they head into halftime.
James Troll, the kicker, set up for the extra point. It is good. So on Caswell's 17th and Powell's 5th touchdowns of the season, the Queen City Corsairs have got their first touchdown of the game. They trail 31-10, 39 seconds to go in the first half. I see some people in the chat at twitch.tv/FTFnext say they're just tuning in and didn't expect the scoreline. You'll want to stay tuned for the halftime break where we break down how that scoring happened. Because I'm pretty sure you won't believe it. 34 seconds to go first half as Manning takes it to the 23-yard line.
First half fireworks. For sure.
And now with only 34 seconds, let's see what the Desperados do here. They're going to hand it off to Sanzo Robinson. It seems like it's been forever since Robinson touched the football. He picks up 8 yards right up the middle.
It does seem like it's been a while. 13 rushing attempts for Sanzo in this first half on 54 yards, but where he's really done damage for Tulsa is in the receiving game, those swing passes, 5 receptions for 58 yards. So he's up over 100 total yards on the day, which was one of those key stats for Tulsa coming into this game.
Off middle, Robinson can't get there, but that will be the end of the first half of football. It's Tulsa 31, Queen City Corsairs 10 as we go to the break. And I will throw it to Benji Matson to recap the first half in a middle bit, but I do want to go over how the scoring has happened. So Tulsa started it off on their first drive from scrimmage, a 9-play, 84-yard rushing touchdown for Sanzo Robinson. Tulsa then extended it to 10-0 with a field goal after an interception. Then Tulsa threw a pick, and Queen City responded with a field goal to make it 10-3. Then Queen City punted twice, and the magic started. A return touchdown for Gabriel Manning, 2 times in a row, ballooned the lead, and then the first time the Tulsa offense touched the ball again after that, a 48-yard touchdown to Corey Jones on the first play from scrimmage, and that is how we got to 31-10 for Tulsa. And now, Benji Matson, take it away.
Yeah, Tulsa is having a day today. Gabriel Manning's having a day today. Explosive plays by this Tulsa team all across the field, offensively and defensively, executing the game plan put in place this week by Coach Dion Hawkins, and they are working it to a T. Having a great game today. A few interceptions by Deacon Nickens, but for the large part, making smart decisions and letting Sanzo Robinson pace them on the offensive side of the ball. And how about this for Tulsa? On the offensive side, going off the field, next time you see the field, you're up another 14 points, and then you run one play and put another 7 on the board. So they scored 21 points, having run only one offensive play during that time frame. That's a crazy second quarter here in this game. We see one of those interceptions by Deacon Nickens, but for the large part today, again, Tulsa playing great, making smart decisions with the ball, featuring Sanzo Robinson early, and then letting Gabriel Manning work his magic. Queen City brought it within a few scores here with that drive at the end of the first half, which is what they had to have happen. We know they're an explosive team. They like to air it out. They have star players on that offensive side of the ball who are going to be competing in the second half. Stranger things have happened, like 2 punt return touchdowns in a row. The stranger things have happened in the SFL. As Queen City comes out of the locker room here, you know they're going to regroup. They're going to be ready to go. They're a talented team who knows how to sling it on offense. And with the right adjustments, I just wouldn't be surprised to see Queen City make a game of it here in the second half. But kudos to Tulsa and their game plan and Coach Dion Hawkins. They're playing excellent today at home.
The main storyline for the first half has to be the 2 straight back-to-back punt return touchdowns for Gabriel Manning. That took him into first place on the all-time returns for touchdowns leaderboard, and he put him past Jeffrey Daggs for that first place spot. He had 2 touchdowns in his first 166 return attempts, and then 2 in 2 in the space of about a minute and a half, as Tulsa leads Queen City 31-10 at halftime in a complete opposite of what we expected.
There are
coming into the game.
So many highlights in that first half. The music bed wasn't long enough. So if you're just tuning in, you missed some fireworks in the first half. But buckle up the seatbelt. Let's see if Queen City can make a game of this here in the second half.
I think that's only the second time I've seen that, where the highlight package at halftime was so long we ran out of music. I'm Michael Toronto. Benji Matson is alongside me. Second half of the first game of Week 7 of the Simulation Football League on tap. Tulsa with a 31-10 lead. They're going to get the football first, and Gabriel Manning brings it out from 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he gets up to the 23-yard line. And let's take a look at your running back comparison. This is this season coming into the game.
Yeah, we were going to talk about the lack of action on the ground for these 2 running backs today. Tulsa's used Sanzo Robinson, and he's at us his second rushing touchdown of the year. So he's got 2 touchdowns on the year. Jet Zero had a chance on the goal line, but still 0 rushing touchdowns for him. He's having an off day for Queen City.
Zero, only 3 yards on 6 attempts in that first half. Here's Sanzo Robinson. He's crushed after a gain of only 1.
Made the first man miss, which is what he's been doing all game long, but then Jared Crow cleans him up there. The rookie, Week 6 signing here to Queen City, put Sanzo Robinson on the ground.
Playing in his second SFL game, Jared Crow had 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 passes defended last week in his SFL debut. Second down and 9, handoff Robinson. He gets away. He breaks a tackle, and he's into the open field. He puts another defender in the dirt, and he's brought down near midfield at the Tulsa 41-yard line.
Right off the bat here in the second half, Tulsa's turning around, handing the ball back off to Sonzo Robinson. They were feeding him the ball early in the game. But on that very first drive, when Tulsa needed to have a good drive to open the game, Sonzo delivered, whether he was running the ball or catching those swing passes out of the backfield. That was part of the game plan for Tulsa right off the bat, and Sonzo really helped him. Of course, they scored on that first drive to go up 7-zip early in the game, and coming out of the gates here in the second half, we're going to turn around and hand this ball back to their workhorse running back.
Looks like a very similar game plan to what they did have in the first half. This time a throw from Nickens is going to be complete for a 4-yard gain. DJ Hume with the catch.
First catch on the day.
That is his first of the game, yeah.
Rookie second-round pick for Tulsa. Had a good game last week for them. Reeled in 6 catches for 47 yards. 15 catches so far on the season for the young rookie.
Second down and 5. 9:40 to go third quarter. Tulsa with a 31-10 lead and the football. Nickens, plenty of time in the pocket, throws it short and incomplete. Jamu Afalabi was there to knock the ball away from Gabriel Manning.
And sets up an important third down here for Queen City. Be interesting to see what formation Tulsa lines up when here out to break this huddle. But 3rd and 5, you don't want to put too much pressure on a third down right off the bat in the third quarter. But if Queen City can get off the field here, things could get interesting.
Not many empty possessions for Tulsa in this football game. Nickens will continue the drive into Queen City territory with a nice dart to Gabriel Manning.
The sure-handed all-star receiver on the outside nabs that. Makes it look easy as he brings that one in, doesn't he? Makes everything look easy. Gabriel Manning started off super hot this year for the Desperados. 5 touchdowns in his first 3 games, over 450 yards receiving, but he really quieted down after that as defenses were learning how to adjust and how to play him and sitting up over the top, making sure he didn't kill him with big plays. He's only had 2 receptions today in the passing game for Tulsa.
Off. Robinson, 3 yards up the middle. Download Crowd Play, our new partner for 2020, and play the game about the game. Follow the action and answer questions for a chance to win a share of the $1,000 prize pool. Your next chance to win is Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where the Baltimore Vultures host the Houston Hyenas in a battle of 2 of the longest tenured ownership groups in the SFL. Visit crowdplay.com for more information. Handoff. Robinson can't quite get to the line again. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the Queen City 32, and again a chance for this Corsairs defense to get a stop.
Afalabi brings Robinson down there. Afalabi out of Washington, D.C., second year with the team. They call him the Hunter, and he definitely hunted down Robinson on that play. Makes a good tackle.
Just over 8 minutes to play, third quarter. Nickens in the gun, over the middle, pass caught, first down, Anthony Mosley. He's been the less busy of the 2 tight ends between him and James Matthew Jr. on the Corsairs side, but he does move the chains that time to the 24-yard line.
He's a sure-handed target for Deacon Nickens there, and if I was Anthony Mosley, I was probably on the sideline talking to Coach. He almost had that touchdown there that got taken away from him in the first half. He wants the ball here in the second half.
Plenty of time in the pocket, checks it down to Robinson, only gets 1 yard. Nice tackle there by King Jamal, the rookie signed in week 3.
King Jamal joins Queen City from Houston, Texas. Played a little college football at Texas Southern. Welcome to Queen City, King Jamal.
Offset I with 3 receivers. Back to pass. Nickens moves in the pocket, goes down. 3rd sack of the game for Queen City. And Jeff Duffy has his 3rd sack of the game as well.
And the Duff man doing damage on this play for sure. Is going to force a long 3rd down here as Tulsa was driving. If Queen City can just keep this to a field goal, get their offensive back on the field, see what can happen. But that was a great play when they needed to have one by the big defensive end, Jeff Duffy.
Now 3rd and 13, 4 wide plus a tight end. Nickens pumps, looks deep, into double coverage, intercepted in the end zone. Second interception of the game for Nene Ferris, and the third thrown by Deacon Nickens.
Nene Ferris has been playing some good defense sneakily on Gabriel Manning. Gabriel's had a few pass attempts downfield like this, and Nene has actually put himself in great position. Interception number 2, really playing good defense on Manning over the top.
Empty drive for the Desperados. Queen City a chance to start mounting the comeback. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Queen City Corsairs try to mount a comeback. 6:41 to go in the third quarter. Jet Zero takes the handoff. A penalty flag flies on a 1-yard gain. We will check the flag.
Clipping, number 17, offense.
It is the infamous clipping call. It's against Queen City. That's their second penalty of the day. And it'll set the Corsairs back 5 yards.
Not what Queen City wanted to see happen as they started this drive. Sets up a first and long.
First down and 19 from the 11-yard line. Queen City would be one of the teams in the league, though, you would trust to get this. But that pass is out of bounds and incomplete. Threw it into the Queen City sideline. And let's take a look at A.J. Caswell's profile. From Brookfield, Massachusetts, he is the winningest quarterback in league history with 4 championship titles. He now has 197 career touchdowns. He doesn't really care for country music and supports Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, if Queen City is going to win this game today, A.J. Caswell may well need to throw another 3 touchdowns. We'll see what happens on this drive.
2nd and 19. Caswell short over the middle to James Matthew Jr. Gets the penalty yards back and not a lot more. It'll be 3rd down at 11 from the 19. And another drive deep in their own territory in danger of petering out here. Four wide, tight end split to the left side. Caswell stands in, throws a first down pass. It's James Matthew Jr. again. He's been the most targeted receiver for Queen City, and he bails out his quarterback that time.
He's been targeted 11 times on the game, sure-handed tight ends. Been the security blanket today for A.J. Caswell, and he's having a great year. He touched on in the first half. We see he's got 77 yards on the day. He's been there when Caswell's needed something over the middle. They're continuing to look down the field. They just haven't had any big plays yet. We're going to have to get some here in this 3rd and 4th quarter.
Jet Zero. This time has a nice hole to run through and rumbles for 8 yards. 2nd down and 2. And this is what the Corsairs have missed. The majority of this game is 2nd and 3rd and short.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you have Tulsa ball hockeying or playing good D, it's just difficult to convert those long downs. So they're playing ahead of schedule so far on this drive.
Offset eye, twin receivers, a single each side. Caswell back to throw in the flat, and the fullback, Todd Mack, can't get there. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
A bit of a detriment to a team like Queen City when you have a short yardage situation like that. It almost seems like they don't have the confidence to turn around and hand it off to a back who can get those yards for them. So here on 3rd and 1, what are they going to do when they absolutely must keep this drive alive? Can they get this 1 yard?
Caswell going long. Caswell's got a man, and a catch is made by Chris Curtis into Tulsa territory at the 30-yard line in double coverage, no less.
We see the mindset of the gunslinger here, A.J. Caswell. He's got Jet Zero open in the flat to his right, but he decides to go down the field. He does sling it to the sure-handed Chris Curtis. Also had a big game last week, brought in 9 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown. That was a big play. Great connection from Caswell to Chris Curtis.
Curtis has been kind of invisible in this ball game. That's a nice catch for him, though. 1st down and 10. Again over the middle. This one knocked away, looking for Deezer Powell. Sector 6 is the official jersey provider of the Simulation Football League, and replica jerseys are out now. Get your name on the back of your team's or your favorite team's jersey, and visit team stores and libraries for purchase options through sector6apparel.com or through our website at simulationfl.net. Just hit the shop button. 2nd down, 10 after the incompletion. Caswell 2-step drop, fires over the middle, and it's almost intercepted by DJ Majesty. He doesn't have an interception on the season, almost had his first. 3rd down and 10.
DJ Majesty swatted that ball away. Had good defensive position there, kind of sitting back in that zone, swatting it away. Didn't reel it in for his first interception, but still an effective play nonetheless.
Again, 3rd down and long. Caswell with 5 receivers to aim at. He goes short to Deezer Powell. Lots of work to do. Can't quite get it done. 4th down and 2 upcoming at the 22-yard line. And I don't know, maybe I'm just super aggressive and I don't have a lot of the line, but I would have thought, maybe you go for that. But out comes James Troll to kick the field goal. Nope, they're set up to go for it. I was correct in my assumption. They may just try and draw Tulsa offside here, though. With only 8 seconds to go, it looks like that's what they will do. Timeout called. And now James Troll will come out to take the field goal.
On the previous play, A.J. Caswell just couldn't keep his feet underneath them. A good pressure by the Tulsa front defensive line. He had to kind of had happy feet in the pocket, and he did throw that ball short to Deezer Powell, which they've done in the past in this game, and allowed his receivers to make the play for the 1st down. Just wasn't able to get it done on that play, and they have to settle for the field goal attempt here as it starts to inch toward the close of the 3rd quarter.
And now they're down a timeout. With the way this game is going, it may not be close at the end, but if it is, that timeout blown may be the difference. Kick on the way from Troll. It is up, and it is good from 38 yards. So the gap comes down just a little bit as Tulsa leads 31-13. We are going to take a little break and be back to Greenwood District Stadium after this. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Michael Tovillo, Benji Matson in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Desperados have a 31-13 lead over the Queen City Corsairs. All of it stemming from a 21-point swing in a 5-minute span in the middle of the second quarter, rather. And it's mostly thanks to this man, Gabriel Manning, who had 2 straight return touchdowns, and then a Corey Jones 50-yard passing touchdown. And that's why we have the scoreline we do. Let's take a look at your headlines. Week 7 on tap. This is the first game of a action-packed weekend slate. Florida's won 3 in a row. They play Las Vegas. Is the best rivalry in the Simulation Football League. Atlanta and Jacksonville. They've played for the 12th time this weekend. St. Louis can get to their best start in league history with I'll recap that. St. Louis can get off to their best start in team history with a win this weekend. Louisiana undefeated at home, and they try to go up to the top of the standings as they host the Legion. And rookie Jack Wingmore, after the retirement of Mike Dazzo, gets the quarterback job in Baltimore. And that Baltimore and Houston game is the crowd play game of the week on Monday night. Sanzo Robinson pushes forward the first down for a first down to the 34-yard line. Plenty of hot topics this weekend, Benji. Which one stands out to you?
Well, look at all these teams that are kind of in the middle of the standings. A lot of 3-3 and 2-4 teams. We have 2 of them on display today as we start the second half of the season. There's some of these teams are going to have to start distancing themselves as we make the stretch run.
Nice slant to Corey Jones, picks up 9 to the 44-yard line. As we've seen in the past with the SFL, the line between making the playoffs and not is very narrow, and even though we've expanded the postseason this year, you know, a 500 team is not guaranteed a spot in the postseason. So you got to rack up those wins when you can. Second half of the season starts today, as this is the first game of Week 7. Second down at inches. It's Nickens back to pass over the middle into traffic and incomplete. He was looking for Manning. And it'll be 3rd and 1.
And both these teams are still right in the thick of it. Even Tulsa 2-4. Only 3 games out of the lead in this highly competitive SFL. Just a lot to play for. So we have an entire second half of the season to go. Tulsa wants to continue their strong play in this second half. I got a 3rd and inches. I'd turn this around and hand this to my stud running back if I were Deacon Nickens.
They're in the same formation that Robinson scored the opening touchdown of the game on back in the first quarter. They do hand it to Sanzo, and Sanzo is blown up in the backfield, loss of 4 yards. Look out. It's a Jamu Afalabi.
The Hunter makes his presence felt there. Fantastic play by the linebacker. Forces a punt. Queen City's still in this game now. They're going to get the ball back. Still in the 3rd quarter.
Punt away from Ismaila Farouk. It's the first punt of the game for the Tulsa Desperados. And now Queen City has a chance on their own 25-yard line. They're the only team to score so far in this second half. 47 seconds left to go in the 3rd. And they trail 31-13. From their own 25-yard line, 2 receivers split out to the right. Linebackers all up on the line of scrimmage, but they only rush 4. Throwing the flat to Deezer Powell, and he'll pick up 7 off the right-hand side and get out of bounds.
Tulsa started this second half with a long drive, 11 plays, 49 yards, but then threw that interception on the goal line. And that drive took up a ton of time to start the second half. Queen City returned with an 11-play drive of their own to cap it with a field goal, but this 3rd quarter is already gone. So in a sense, we've got to see Queen City step on the gas pedal here with 1 quarter left to play in this game.
Jet Zero, he gets a first down. Maybe we're going to see Jet Zero play a little bit bigger role here in this second half or late in the 3rd. Zero before that carry, only 11 yards on 7 attempts.
Hard to find space to run today against this Tulsa defense.
Plenty of time for Caswell, but he ends up having to throw it short, and it's in and out of the hands of tight end James Matthew Jr. We have hit the third quarter. Put your fours up. It's time to go to the final frame. Tulsa in command, 31-13. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans.
Third quarter. The score is now the Crusaders 13. Your Desperados 31.
Fourth quarter on tap from Greenwood District Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Desperados have a 31-13 lead over the Queen City Corsairs. I'm Michael Torello. Benji Matson is alongside me, along with Michelle Colston and Tom Rahman. In a third quarter that has been a little bit slow compared to the frantic pace to the first half. Caswell back to pass in the flat. He hits Jet Zero, and Jet Zero is going backwards. Brought down by Nate Heslep. It's going to be third down on 11.
And Queen City, with the fourth quarter starting, is going to need to look vertical if they're going to get back in this game. Here, big 3rd and 11 for them.
It's an all-too-familiar position for the Corsairs in this ball game. 3rd and long. Caswell, a quick hitter to Chris Curtis. He's trying to move the pile for the first down. He's going to be a yard short at the 46-yard line.
Just couldn't quite fall forward for that first down. Espen Royale makes the sure-handed tackle to prevent that first down from being picked up. 4th and short. I think Queen City has to line up and go for this. But looks like they're going to come out in punt formation.
Ricky Matthews on again. 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Just a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. High snap. Punt is away. Manning under it. And he will be corralled at the 24-yard line. We've got plenty of action coming up for you on 11 Sports and for the fans. Denver and Carolina. Florida, Las Vegas, Arizona, and London, Jacksonville, and Florida. And the latter 3 of those games tomorrow. Denver and Carolina today at 5 p.m. That's in a half an hour from now, coming up after this contest. Handoff, Robinson buries a man in his wake, and he's still going, running through traffic to the 27-yard line. First down, Tulsa.
Yeah, that was a punishing run by Sanzo Robinson. He's really made an impact on this game today. Right from the get-go, catching those swing passes, playing a role in the passing game, running strong up the middle when they've had the opportunity to. We'll mention these 2 rookie linemen for Tulsa. Finley James, the big center. Michael Potter, both rookies this year, playing really well in the offensive line for Tulsa. They've made an impact in this game today and allowed Tulsa to run and pass the ball quite well.
Here's Robinson again, just trying to whisk the sands of time away for Tulsa as they've got a healthy lead, 31-13, 9-13, and counting to go. As that tackle was made by Albert Begin.
2nd and 6. Ball at the 42-yard line.
2nd down, 6. Another handoff to Robinson, and Robinson gets buried in the backfield. Loss of 3. Nice tackle on the play for the Corsairs. That was David Tilley, the defensive lineman in his second season.
Baby Sue, David Tilley out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, just celebrated his 3rd anniversary and the first birthday of their baby girl. So congratulations, David Tilley.
3rd down, 9. To the air goes Nickens, and it's dropped over the middle. And J.K. Nickens is not happy because it looked like he was aiming for a receiver further down the field, and one of the underneath routes came up and tried to catch the ball, and it eventually ended up hitting the turf. So 4th down and 9. Here's Ismaila Farouk for the 2nd straight time.
Oh yeah, punter, I'm coming. I'm blocking this.
8:20 on the clock in the 4th quarter. Farouk gets the kick away, and Ochoa is down to the 27-yard line. 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Queen City looking for a miracle. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans.
Let's go.
8 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Tulsa has a 31-13 lead, looking for their 3rd win of the season. Queen City with a lot of ground to make up. A.J. Caswell's in the gun, 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Caswell stands in, throws under pressure, complete to James Matthew Jr., and he'll pick up 8 yards across the middle.
AJ Caswell did a good job of shifting in the pocket there to avoid the pressure. He's had to do that a lot today. So kudos to this Tulsa defensive front, getting pressure and just making him sit uncomfortable in that pocket. Forced to throw he perhaps didn't want to make, but still was able to pick up 8 yards.
That is the 8th-season veteran Caswell at his best. Here is Caswell again, going downfield, and behind the defense is Deezer Powell, and he's got a big 1st down to the 37-yard line.
9th reception of the day for Deezer Powell. Runs a great route, brings this ball in across the middle, sets up a good or gets a good chunk yardage play here for Queen City. They're going to need a lot of these, and in fast order here in this 4th quarter, if they're going to mount a comeback. We've seen a lot of points scored in short order today. That was involving some special teams. It's been hard rowing here for Queen City. They got to get some yards in a hurry.
Down 3 scores with 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Caswell hit as he throws, complete underneath, and a 1st down to Morris Jackson, the 3rd-string tight end on the field, and he picks up a move of the chain to the Tulsa 26-yard line.
Again, the veteran Caswell makes a great play in the pocket because he just senses that pressure from his backside and gets rid of that ball at the last moment, but makes a good strike to the tight end, picks up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 26. Caswell under center. 5-step drop. Pressure in his face. Throws in the flat. And it's a first down and more. Slipping a tackle all the way to the 16-yard line. That is Christopher Ochoa. He picks up his first catch of the game. He has been the return man for Queen City today.
The 6'2", 220-pound rookie wide receiver makes a good timely play for Queen City when they needed the pickup. Sets up a first down.
From the 10-yard line. Caswell in the flat. Jet 0 can't push his way to the goal line. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 4.
Makes a great play, though, on the swing pass to the left. Reels it in with one hand and was able to turn upfield and make positive yards on that. He's had a really tough time in the passing game today. 3 receptions, 5 yards out of the backfield. Partners with his 8 rushing attempts for only 17 yards on the day today for Jet 0.
Inside the 5. Last time they were down here was a Deezer Powell touchdown. This time Caswell throws it out to 0 and he can't get the edge. He gains 1 yard, 3rd down and 3.
Good tackling by the Desperados there. Cameron Shaw leads the way. The big cornerback from Maryland makes a sure-handed tackle. They're out in the flat. Prevents Jet 0 from scoring on that play. Sets up a huge 3rd and 3 with the clock running here in the 4th quarter.
Now down under 6.5 minutes. Now 5.5 minutes, to go in the ball game. Caswell on 3rd and 3, going to try Jet 0 again, and he's got nowhere near the amount of space he needs to work with as DJ Majesty forces him out of the 2, and it's 4th down. You probably have to go for this, don't you, Benji? No, here comes James Troll.
Yeah, I definitely think you have to go for this one with time winding down in this game.
Under 5 minutes now, down 3 scores. Troll comes out, puts it up and good. They're now down 2 scores. But there is only 4 minutes, 43 seconds left, and Queen City has 2 timeouts. Oh, they're going for the onside kick. That shocked me up in the booth. Tulsa recovers it at the Queen City 30-yard line.
That was the right play call there to go for the onside kick. If you're Queen City, but the play before to kick the field goal on the goal line, you just don't know how many more opportunities in this game you're going to get to score down on that goal line. So if I were calling the plays, I might have gone for it on that 4th down.
1st and 10 for Tulsa. They can salt away most of the rest of this clock. A handoff goes to Robinson. He turns the corner, cuts up field for 4 yards. You can catch the SFL live every July through October and January through April over the weekends and Monday nights on 11 Sports for the fans and the Simulation Football League's YouTube and Twitch channels. Follow at Simulationfl on Twitter to always get the most up-to-date broadcast dates, times, and matchups so you won't miss a moment of the action. Robinson again. Handoff. Plenty of room to work with. Breaks a tackle and will rumble to the end zone. Touchdown, Desperados.
Sonzo Robinson takes the handoff right up the middle. Good blocking on that line by Finley James and Michael Potter. Breaks a tackle in the secondary and he's off to the races for the touchdown. Sonzo Robinson having a great day today on the ground. 27 attempts, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Makes 3 rushing touchdowns on the year for Sonzo Robinson. He's been the key to this game today on the offensive side of the ball by Tulsa. He's really had a strong game for the Desperados.
Tulsa only got 23% of the votes in the community poll this week. And they're up 38-16, and that one was most definitely the nail in the coffin. This is the first time this season that Sanzo Robinson is up over 100 rushing yards, right now standing at 144. His previous best was 95 last week against Sioux Falls. And Sanzo averaging this season 73 yards per game. Let's take a look at the overall standings. A lot of parity this season in the Simulation Football League. Only 2 teams at 5-1. That's Denver and Louisiana. No teams unbeaten and only 1 team without a win. That's London. The top 11 make the playoffs. And I'm glad we have 5 more weeks after this to sort out those standings, but even come the end of the season, it may not be as clear as that one. Almost as a pick 6. As Kane Vasquez was under it, but just couldn't find a handle.
Kane Vasquez is having a great year or great season for Tulsa from his strong safety spot. Just really strong play all season long. Coming into this game, 4th in the league in tackles from his strong safety spot, tied for 2nd with 5 interceptions. He's had two interception games so far this year. He had 12 tackles last week in their loss, but he is making strong plays from that strong safety position for the Desperados this season.
2nd down 10 in the 4-wide set. Caswell against the 4-man rush, steps in the pocket, hits, he throws, and the ball sails over everybody's head. And incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Berto Demora, who we haven't really talked about much in this game, was in the backfield, but Demora has been a steady rock on the defensive end slot for the Desperados. 19 tackles coming into the game, 6.5 sacks. Same formation, 4 wide. Low snap for Caswell. Quick throw over the middle to Chris Curtis. He's got himself a 1st down to the 33-yard line. A quick hurry-up offense coming out from Queen City. Caswell, middle, low throw, but it is caught. 1st down again up to the 48-yard line. Approaching midfield now. Here comes the hurry-up. It continues. Caswell looking deep, throwing deep, tip to the air, and caught on the deflection.
Wow.
Teaser Powell came down with it at the Tulsa 28-yard line. Nice focus from Powell, but he's got to get up quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage as they run another play. This time a go route, and it's intercepted at the 5. And this comes to an ignominious end of the drive for Tulsa, for Queen City rather, as Caswell throws his 3rd pick of the game. Nate Heslep grabs the interception. It'll be his 2nd.
Nate Heslop continues his strong play this season as well. Part of this duo in the defensive secondary for the Desperados. Nate Heslop and Kane Vasquez are just ball hawking this season for Tulsa. They both played, Heslop and Kane played an important role for the Tulsa defense in this game.
And off middle to Robinson. He's got room to run. He'll pick up 9. And it's now time for the Score Stream out-of-town scoreboard, but there are no scores to report since this is the first game of the week, so let's run you through the schedule. One more game on 11 Sports and For the Fans tonight. Denver and Carolina. That's coming up at 5 o'clock right after this one. And then at 8 o'clock on the SFL's Twitch channel, Chicago hosts Charleston, and on the SFL's YouTube channel, Sioux Falls hosts Lone Star. 2nd down and 2 for Tulsa. Nickens hands it to Robinson. Robinson looked to the right-hand side, couldn't find anything, lost 3 yards. I'll get to the rest of the schedule for the week when we come back to Tulsa. The Desperados are coasting to a victory here on 11 Sports and For the Fans. 2 minutes to go. Desperados have a 38-16 lead over the Queen City Corsairs as Tulsa looking to coast to their third victory of the season and move to an even to get back to 3-4. Handoff up the middle. Sanzo Robinson has the first down. This would also put Queen City at 3-4. Here's the rest of the schedule. Your Sunday slate. Las Vegas hosts Florida at 12:30 p.m. on 11 Sports and For the Fans. London hosts Arizona at 2:30 Eastern, and Atlanta plays Jacksonville at 4:30 Eastern. Those are all 11 Sports. Then on the SFL's Twitch channel at 8 p.m., Portland travels to Mexico City, and on YouTube, St. Louis hosts Fort Worth. And then we wrap it up on Monday night with 2 games on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Vancouver at Louisiana hits your screens at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the Crab Play Game of the Week is at 9 p.m. Eastern when Baltimore hosts Houston. Robinson with the football, and he is rumbled down after a gain of nothing.
Things don't get any easier for Sioux Falls as next week they take on, for Queen City, as next week they take on Sioux Falls, followed by Denver, 2 of the toughest teams in the league. So things don't get any easier for Queen City. They're going to have to figure things out on the flight home today.
Another handoff to Robinson, and he almost broke it again there. It had to be Albert begin to bring him down, but not before another move of the change to the 44. And with Queen City having no timeouts, that should do it.
Kind of a quiet second half compared to that first half. I think Tulsa got some big plays and are riding that momentum to this victory today. It just shows you what Tulsa can do when their stars align and play super well, which they've done today against Queen City.
Backup quarterback Shelly Ebbs is out to run the kneel-down offense, and that'll do it. Here's the upcoming schedule for Tulsa. They play at Florida, who's won 3 straight, looking for 4 in a row this week. At Atlanta, and then Mexico City. So not an easy road ahead for either of these 2 teams.
No, and it's that time of the season where they've got to tighten things up. They can't afford to make mistakes. I think that for Queen City on special teams, they're going to have to revisit what happened today, but anyone's going to have trouble defending Gabriel Manning. Queen City will have to tighten things up on their special teams heading into next week, and it's these types of things they've got to avoid down the stretch as these teams look to finish the season strong and hopefully make a bid for the playoffs.
The final kneel down comes through from Ebbs. We have a final here in Tulsa to open up Week 7 of Season 15 to the Simulation Football League. The Tulsa Desperados get the win, 38-16. Most of those on a 21-point swing in a 5-minute time span in the middle of the second quarter. 2 return touchdowns for Gabriel Manning. He now leads the league all time in punt return touchdowns. And he helps the Desperados to their 3rd win of the season. Benji Batson to wrap us up.
When Tulsa needed to play a great game to get the ship righted, they came out today at home and did just that. Led by their stars, Sanzo Robinson, Deacon Nickens, and Gabriel Manning, they played a really solid game in all phases, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And one thing they did this week that they didn't do last week is they got started strong. They held on to the ball, they didn't turn it over, and they just played solid football. I think what we saw happen today by Gabriel Manning in that punt return game on special teams just shows that any team in the SFL can win, and Tulsa is one of those teams. They've got the weapons to start a run here in this second half of the season as they run towards the playoffs. For Queen City, they just couldn't get the engine started today. No success on the ground for them, and their air attack was grounded by this strong ball-hawking Tulsa secondary. Here we see Sanzo Robinson on his final score of the day, just bullying that Queen City secondary. Fast start today by Tulsa. They played really well, put the pressure on Queen City and AJ Caswell. They couldn't get things started. Great play all across the board by Tulsa on this victory today. Well earned as they get back in the victory column.
your player of the game. I think I know who it is. Oh, no, it's Sanzo Robinson. Season's best, 167 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Gabriel Manning also, of course, deserves special recognition as he did the brunt of the work in the first half, scoring 2 back-to-back punt return touchdowns. So that'll do it. Our final score, Tulsa 38, Queen City 16 for Cameron Irvine. Michelle Colston and Tom Rahman behind the scenes. Angie Matson on analysis. I have been your play-by-play commentator, Michael Cervillo, saying so long, and see you next time.